Om Partaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavatam Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Kratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitaamritavarshini Bhagavati Ashtadashadhyayini Amba Tvam Anusandathami Bhagavad Gita Bhagavad Om, O Bhagavad Gita, it was through thy help that Narayana, the Lord himself, brought enlightenment to Arjuna. Afterwards, Vyasa, the sage of ancient times, incorporated thee in the Mahabharata. O Goddess, through thy 18 chapters thou showeredst the immortal nectar of the wisdom of non-duality and destroyed man's rebirth in this mortal world. O Goddess, I meditate on thee. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Charuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagat Guru. The 15th chapter, Panchadashodaya, and we start chanting from the first verse. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Urdhvamula Madashakam Ashwatam Prahuravyayam Chandansi Yasya Parnani Yastam Veda Savedaved Adascha Urdhvam Prasita Tasya Shaka Guna Pravriddha Vishaya Pravala Adascha Mulanyanu Karmanubandhini Manushya Loke Narupamasya Hatatoparabhyate Nanto Nachardir Nacha Sampratishta Ashvatamenam Suvirudamulam Asanga Shastrena Dridena Chitva Tata Padam Tat Parimargitavyam Yasmin Gatana Nivartanti Bhuyaha Tameva Chadyam Purusham Prapadye Yata Pravritti Prasita Purani Nirmana Moha Jita Sanga Dosha Adhyatma Nitya Vinivrita Kamaha Dvandvair Vimukta Sukha Dukkha Sangnir Gacchantya Muda Padama Vyayamta Natad Bhasayate Suryo Na Shashanko Na Pavakaha Yadgatva na nivartante tadhama paramam mama. Mamaivangsho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana manashashtanindriyani prakritistani karshati shariram yadavapnoti yachapyutkramati गृहीत्वैतानि संयाति वायुर्गन्धानि वासय श्रोत्रं चक्षुस्पर्शनं च रसनं घ्राणमेव च अधिष्ठाय मनश्चायं विषयान् उपसेवते. We take this verse, 9th verse. This one enjoys the objects by verily presiding over the ear, eye, skin, and tongue, as also over the nose and the mind. This one, what do you mean this one? The jiva. And what does it enjoy? Experiences. It experiences what? The objects. Objects like sound, touch, taste, etc. Through what? Well, through the ears, shrotram, chakshu, eye, sparsha, touch, rasa is taste, grana is smell, and the mind also. So we'll explain this thing. How? Adhisthaya, by presiding over. I is saying this one enjoys the objects by presiding over the ears, the eye, the tongue, the taste, the smell, and the mind. Now, there's a word cha. Shrotram, chakshuhu, sparshanam cha, rasanam, granam eva, cha. There's a and. What is and? This and can mean many things, but the commentator says, and it also means the motor organs. It's not only the sense organs, the motor organs. Now, for the senses to work, it has to work together with the motor organs. That is, walking, grasping, all the speaking, because they have to work in tandem. The sense organs have to work with the motor organs in tandem. The sensory and motor nerves are part of the nervous system. So you cannot have two separate systems. They're part of one system only. And this afternoon I was saying, now there's a story. It comes in the Chandogya Upanishad. So there was a dispute amongst all the sense organs. Who's the best? And they were quarreling and they couldn't come to any conclusion. Then they go to their father, Prajapati, God. So who's the best amongst us? So Prajapati says, in whose absence the body becomes despicable. So, okay. So what do we? So they decide each one of us will leave this body and go out and stay 1 year. And then we'll see. So the I first goes out. I think it's the I goes out. Let me see how they live. And he stayed there for 1 year and he came back. Then he's saying he's very proud. How did you all live? Just like blind people. You're fine. Oh. And then the year left. Let me see. He left and he was also pleased and saying, now without me, they will not be able to live. Came back. I think like deaf people, you're fine. Similarly, taste, touch, smell, they all left. And everybody's saying, yeah, you're like deaf mutes. And we ate whatever we could. We just tasteless things. But we are fine. Then the mind says, now without me, let's see. And the mind goes out. And then the mind goes out and said, okay, what will they now say? So after it returns after 1 year, how did you all live? Fine. Like these, like mindless children, mindless, we live. And you're so kind of, mind also came back in this place. Then they are now, because the sense organs are superior to the motor organs, sir. So the motor organs kept quiet. Then they're looking at each other. And prana got up. And as it got up, as if all the sense organs were uprooted along with the mind. And the example given is like a strong horse is pulling at the pegs that tie the horse. And wait. Don't go. You are the king here. You are the boss here. And they started praising the prana. Okay. So that's the idea that all these sense organs are, along with the motor organs, of course, and also the pranas. Because without the prana, the sense organs will not be able to move. It's not possible. But here in this verse, it goes one step. It is the jiva who presides over the prana, and the prana presides over all these things. Or you can say the jiva consciousness presides over everything. We are now looking at each other, talking to each other, and this and that. But there is somebody who is sitting on top of all these senses which are operating. We do not know. The next verse will talk about it. We are not aware of it. So they were saying, oh, we are very independent. No. Presiding over means adhisthana, that is, sthana is to be established. So there is a boss over all these functions. So, and that's the reason why the mind integrates what comes in. Because there has to be one agent which integrates all these from the 5 and another 5, the motor organs, 5 and 5, 10. So there has to be like a screen. All the rays of light has to fall on that screen. So that's the mind. And that mind is presided over by prana and consciousness. That's why we are conscious. We are conscious. Oh, yeah, we are conscious. Yeah, a conscious being. What is that conscious? It's just the sense organs. No, it is presided over means. How do you say presided? Like the best example is like, like rasgulla. Everybody knows what a rasgulla is like. So it is soaked in and through with that syrup. So these sense organs are soaked in and through with that consciousness. It cannot function by itself. It has to be presided over by consciousness. Okay. So I'll read this. This one enjoys. The word enjoys also means experiences. It experiences. The objects by verily presiding over the ear, eye, skin, tongue, and also over the nose and the mind. So the original Vishayan Upasevate. Vishayan is objects. So what is the object of this hearing sound? And then eye, it's a form, and then touch is skin, and then taste is tongue, and then grana, nose, smell. Now, if you see in Vedanta, what they do is, okay, take for example, grana, smell. So it's a nose, okay. We can smell. What is the real nature of smell or odor? It is the earth, Prithvi. Okay. Now see how Vedanta links everything together. The Shrotra, just take the first, the ear. The ear, what is the element outside? It's sound, but sound is a characteristic of what, space, akash. Space has that akash, that sound as its quality. So you can, it moves through space, that vibration moves through space and comes to you. And then eye, it is light, fire. Okay, you got this? Tongue, taste. Okay, what is the taste? Water. And then we have nose, as we said, earth. So what is trying to sparsha is touch. It's wind. Touch. So along with the five objects, the five great elements that make up this external world are also included. Prithvi, up, Tejas, Marut, and Vyom. That is earth, water, fire, air, and space. These five, they're combined, recombined, they have three gunas. And because of that mixture, all these things are there. That is why the senses are designed to experience this external world through sound, taste, touch, smell. The smell, as I said, is a quality of earth. So the jiva now, with this instrument through these senses is in touch with the entire world. So the external world, the senses, and the mind have become combined. So it seems like, oh, yes, now which came first? The external world or the senses? Now, they came in. Technically, according to Sankhya philosophy, these guys came first. And then there was an intermixture of all the 5 elements, 5 great elements: earth, water, fire, air, and space. And all these objects have become manifest in this world. But it's like a lock and key. Both are necessary. To experience the external world, you have to have senses. See, they both have evolved. So evolution is between both external world of 5 elements and here. How is it possible? Yeah. So the earth has evolved? Oh yes, it has evolved. The earth that we see is not what it was million years or billion years or 2 billion, 3 years. No. It was not a place to live. It was a horrible place to live. It was red. It was full of iron and sulfur, whatever it was. There is no oxygen, nothing. And slowly, it started evolving. And we also started evolving. We means that is the senses. And those senses were evolving. It's like a co-evolution. The external world and this internal world of senses. But we were not there. Yeah, you were there. You were some algae and you were some this and that, because there was this oxygen. There was a great oxygenation event that lasted for millions of years. And you know who is responsible for the oxygen? Algae. So next time we have to be careful. So both have been evolving. And depending on the environment, the senses are there. So then eagle, now it has to fly. It cannot have eyes like us. You cannot have. You have to go to the ophthalmologist. I cannot see. That does not happen with the eagle. No, sorry. It has to see because there's food down there. Yeah. And then the cheetah has to run fast because my food is running away. I have to run faster. You tell a human being. So the senses in every species have been tailored to adapt to that particular environment they are in. And the general environment is earth, water, fire, air, and space. They have senses, we have senses. What I'm trying to tell you is that these things have evolved. Apart from evolution, the entire world out is there for the senses to experience. Vishayan upasevati. It is not just a Vishaya, the objects. Behind the objects is the used thing. The whole earth is there. So if you say, this is my experience, so you analyze the experience and you will find you have to drag in the whole world, the whole universe along with you. Because nothing is separate. Nothing is isolated. So your experience is the experience of the world actually. So when you say that consciousness oversees all these senses, that means consciousness oversees the sensory organs, the motor organs, the pranas, and the external world. And then we say, oh, only my consciousness presides over my. No. Nature or God has shown us over and over and over again that we are not separate. We have become so separate. And why is that we are looking so separate? That's a different thing. You are not separate from this external world. So I hope you all had lunch, and see, if that lunch was something separate from me, then I would die. That lunch has become now me. That food has become, that banana has become me. And that is why they say that we are connected to this world. Everything, this earth, water, fire, air, and space, is part of me through the medium of the senses. I'm experiencing the whole world. So, suppose my senses have become better. You cannot smell better than a dog. We don't need it. Yeah, we are not so strong as a gorilla. We don't need that strength. There's another story in the Greek mythology. So, Zeus Pater, he's the head honcho, the great big god in Greek mythology. So after he created this whole world, he's on Mount Olympus. And he's looking at everybody. Everything is going very well. Then he looked closely. Say, poor humans. The humans, they are like frightened about here, running about there. And now it's too late to do anything. Saying, the animals, they have claws, they have speed, they have strength. And these human beings are so weak. They don't have anything to protect themselves. And they are always at the mercy of nature and other animals. So what to do now? Now he cannot change anything much. The design is complete. So he's thinking, he hit upon an idea. He puts the ethical sense in us. And when that ethical sense comes in us, then what happens? We begin to live in a society, a community. And as a community, we became stronger. We never needed the claws and strength and all. We became strong. And that's why we became dominant over all of creation. So it is our ethical sense that actually, what is the ethical sense? Okay, we will say ethical sense. We will say consciousness was put inside. Consciousness, okay, that consciousness tells us the consciousness that we are part of a larger species. Saying the largest species, you know what's the largest living thing, the oldest thing, oldest and largest? It is some reef in some Australia somewhere. There are some trees which are thousands and thousands years old, very large. The group of trees. So they, by coming together, we protect each other. Though we have to compete with each other, yet we protect each other. So this is the life of a human being, a society. That's why the society, there are some societies who put the importance of individual over the society. And some people some cultures put society above the individual. So at times, which one is it? We have seen those societies who put the collective above the individual, they have survived for a long time. So a collection, a group community is stronger than the individual. Okay. Now to come back to, we are interacting very intimately with this world. Though we may be conscious of looking at each other, yet there are so many subconscious sensations coming which we do not know are coming in. Oh yeah. They say that there are so much sensations coming in that a conscious mind cannot take in everything. So it takes only that thing which helps it to survive. Yeah, very strange. Millions of sensations are coming in, not only from here, from outside, and there's so many factors. Some of them are ignored, some of them come below the threshold of consciousness, and then they rise up to the consciousness. Our whole thing is being presided over by this consciousness. Okay. Vishayan upasevate. So this one, the jiva, enjoys, that is, experiences. Vishayan, the objects. And what, how does it enjoy the objects? How does it experience the objects? By presiding over that. Hey, me first. You are my servant. You have to act for me. So the jiva experiences this world outside for what? For experience. And as the yoga philosophy and even Sankhya philosophy says, why? What is the experience? So that you will learn. You will get educated. And after you're educated, you learn, then you will be released. It's called bhoga and apavarga. Experience, and then you're released. That is, apavarga means moksha. So we are experiencing this world at all levels, and we have been experiencing at all levels. So we're experiencing through the senses, and senses, yeah, it is good. Suppose we had no senses, we would not have experienced the external world as it is, and we would not become free also. So in Vedanta, sometimes Vedanta says, hey, get away from the senses, get away. Yeah. Only after a certain level of experiences, you've had enough, you've known enough, now get away from the senses. But till your education is going on, you're using your senses. The senses are your friend. Part of you, part of nature. And this is how, and at one point of time, like, the other Upanishad says, the sense organs are like horses. Okay. The mind is like the reins. The reins are held by the buddhi, intellect, and the body is the chariot. So the whole thing is necessary. And they say if the horses are well trained, it will lead you to the supreme state of Vishnu. And if the horses that are not trained and not broken properly, it will take you to the ditch. And break that chariot and all. So these senses are necessary to take you to that supreme state of Vishnu. Okay. So we have understood this. We'll take the next verse. We'll chant it first and then now we're coming to fine-tuning this. Utkramantam sthitam vapi Bunjanam vagunanvitam Vimura nanupashyanti Pashyanti jnana chakshusaha. You read your translation, whatever it is. Those who are incapable of discerning do not see it when it is leaving or even residing in this body, or when it is experiencing or in association with the gunas. Those with the eye of knowledge, jnana chakshu, see. So, what is the eye of knowledge? Yes, you will see that consciousness, that jiva, through the eye of knowledge. What it is doing there? It is experiencing all these things, and also utkramantam, when it is rising. Hey, when it is in the body, sthitam. And bunjana, when it is enjoying. So and when it is experiencing, or gunan, or experiencing the gunas. That is, gunas means the three gunas, and like things like anger, hatred, all these things. So we do not see consciousness is presiding over all these functions. The consciousness as jiva. So it said, though it is in the body and capable of in seeing, yet utkramantam, when it is leaving. It does leave the body? Yes, it leaves the body. Oh my God, yes. Utkramantam. When it is leaving the body, when it is staying in the body, and then when it is experiencing things, and that's the gunan, and also one with the gunas. That is a better way. Guna, Kanvita. Experience. We do not see it. What? See what? What do we are supposed to see? That presiding agent, which is overseeing all these things. Those with the eye of knowledge see it. Those who are incapable of seeing it, they don't see it. So what about this eye, and what about this? Who's this experience? What is happening here? The idea that God is far away and it has to be going there, that itself is a big mistake there. We had to. I mean, it's a common sense view, but Vedanta is trying to put all these things back into you. Search it here. Where? That which is presiding over, that is governing over all the sense organs, the mind, and it is taking care of your existence inside. Sometimes this existence, when the body becomes old, oh, okay, let's get out, let's go to another place, let's move. It leaves. Yeah. Utkramantam, Sitam, when it is there, we don't see it. We don't see it going out. When Sri Ramakrishna, one time, his brother's son, Akshay, his nephew, Sri Ramakrishna, Akshay. So, Akshay, he died at a very young age. in Dakshineshwar. And everyone was so, sad and stuff. And Sri Ramakrishna is laughing there. And everybody got annoyed. He's dying and you're laughing. Later, Sri Ramakrishna was crying, of course. What? What? He's saying, I saw Akshay's soul along with the mind itself come out of the body. Like when you pull the sword out of a sheath scabbard. That's why I was laughing. So he saw. So I say, those who are in, he had the eye of knowledge. When there's stitam vapi, when it is existing in the body, can you see it? Yes. Like Swami Shivananda, he says, I have known by the grace of the Master, Sri Ramakrishna, that I am separate from the body. And Sri Ramakrishna has given me this foolish knowledge. Somebody had come and saying, oh, your health is bad and all these things. Your diet has become so, little, because he was old and he was suffering from various ailments. So yes, the body undergoes these 6 changes. It grows, it changes its shape, and then it decays, and then it gets ill, and then it dies. It goes under these changes. But he said, but I know that I am separate from the body. So these people are with this eye of knowledge. The Bhagavad Gita also in the other chapter is saying, Guna Guneshu Vartante. The gunas, the 3 gunas are interacting with the 3 gunas. I am not. So here we have this idea that through discernment, through viveka, through not the ordinary viveka. Oh, this is coffee and this is water. That's not that viveka. The viveka between the self and the not self. That is what. But it becomes so difficult. Why it will become so difficult? We cannot see it. So Vedanta gives the example of a red hot iron ball. So when the iron is put in the fire, it becomes hot and red. And then, the iron thinks it can burn, it can destroy things. But you take it out of the fire for a while, it is there, hot. And then slowly it will cool. The heat will dissipate and it will cool. And then what happens is, fire separate, consciousness is a separate thing, and the body and the mind and everything is a separate thing. But these 2 things have gotten together. It's like a red hot iron ball. But you must be able to separate these 2 things. What is really fire in the iron? That comes through spiritual disciplines. You may say, oh, I am not a body. But Sri Ramakrishna says, I say, from where? You say, no, the body is to become the Atman now. So, Sri Ramakrishna gives another example of there's vegetables that have been chopped and they are being boiled in the vessel, and when They're dancing about. Then you're dancing about. We are dancing about on our own. Then the water will say, no, no, it's because of me. Then the vessel will say, no, no, because of me. Then the fire will say, no, no, because of me. So the senses and all this mind and all this jumping about and doing all these things, but it doesn't realize that there's a boss there behind it. Without it, can you see it? Yes, you can actually see it. Sri Ramakrishna says, when the mind reaches the heart center, chakra, then you can see your own soul like a flame of a candle. You can see. The way the flame, is it the flame? No, no, it's not. That's the first glimpse of the soul as separate from the body. Why has it come? How the hell did it ever come? Yeah, it is got caught by Maya, caught by karma, and it's joined now. But we don't see that it is moving, as I said, it is moving towards liberation. And in the process, we have not identified ourselves with that consciousness, but with the body, etc. And we are forgetting the whole thing. So Shri Krishna is just trying to make us understand, hey, you've got to understand that it is consciousness that pervades everything. That is, somebody else was asking, is consciousness then even in this block of stone and this and that? Yeah, it is there. It is everywhere. It cannot be. You are seeing consciousness as a block of stone. Sri Ramakrishna one time, he had doubts about the veracity of his visions and all these things. Because Swamiji is saying, no, all these things, they're saying Matar Khyal. That is your own imagine India. I'm saying, if they are true, this boulder will jump 3 times. And it actually jumped 3 times. Either say everything is material or say everything is consciousness. Which would you like? It's clear. If everything is material, then there is no point in all these things we do. Right? Like the old Charvakas, the Charvaka, the ancient philosophers in India. Charvakas means Charu Vakya. Charu is beautiful. Beautiful words. They say, Bhasmi Bhutasya Dehasya Kim Punaragamana. When the body is burnt, who's going to come back? And Rinam Kritva Gritam Pibet. If you want to eat ghee, then take a loan and eat, no problem. At a deeper level, materialism prevails, yeah, okay. But if you keep on thinking, simple materialism will destroy us. But somewhere deep down in our hearts, we feel, no, we are not just material things. Somewhere, why? We have the idea that I will survive. I will not die. The body might go, but I'm going to survive. Where is this thought coming from? Why is it coming from? We know we are seeing people being born and dying, but where is this feeling? I will not perish. I will continue to exist. Oh, that's an illusion. Yeah. If it was an illusion, then it would have gone long time back. It has been here with us for I don't know how many million years. If it is there for a million years, then it will not be an illusion. It will be a fact. It cannot be, it's an illusion. Matter. If matter can answer all your problems, then why morality and why all these kind of, as they say, drama? Everything is getting over. But no, we feel there's a part of us that will survive. So there's an intuitive apprehension of a part of us that it's not going to die, it's deathless. So somebody wants to go to heaven, that's okay. And somebody is saying, no, we'll be reborn again in a different time. That's whatever it is. Then again, the scriptures say, suppose there's in the old days, they used to make that, they perform that big yajna, big sacrifice. Now, when they do that, huge sacrifice. It's amazing. It's a huge sacrifice. The results that will come from the sacrifice will take a long time. The bigger the results, the longer time it will take. And you will not be able to enjoy this result in this physical body. Your physical body is too weak. Yeah. It's just not possible. However well built you are, that punya, that merit that will come from that you will not be able to enjoy it in this human body. Because human body is like this. A little papa, demerit, a little punya, merit. We are balanced here. The human body is a result of these balance of forces, both good and bad. But when you get, say, 99%, 90% all punya, your body it's not competent to hold that kind of. So you'll have to have a different body. And then you'll have to have a God body. And that's why they say when you have the huge sacrifices, Swarga Kamo Agnihotram Juhuya. They say, if you desire heaven, you have to do the Agnihotra sacrifice. And the Agnihotra sacrifice is 2 times, 3 times a day you have to do it for a few years. But the result of that you will not be able to get this year. So you'll have to have a different body. It will have to be. And you will become some kind of semi-celestial or a semi-god or a demigod, whatever, so that you can experience that merit. So somewhere deep down, we know, to come back to it, we know that just plain materialism will not satisfy our souls. There has to be something. So either call it all consciousness, and that consciousness is kind of, for a brief, it has been distracted and it thinks itself as matter. It is not matter thinking of itself conscious. So all these, lot of research is being going on, studying consciousness. And how they study consciousness? We have a body and we have a mind, and the derivative of this body and mind is consciousness. or it's got the emergent quality of the body and the brain and the nervous system is called consciousness. But what Vedanta says, no. There is consciousness, and from there has come all the bodies and minds and senses. But this is the better way. Consciousness comes first and then matter next. Otherwise, people are trying to see matter first and the derivative of matter or the emergence of the workings of this is consciousness. No. Vedanta takes this view. So people have been swinging from here there. Either consciousness is fundamental or material is fundamental. What is right? Material, what is matter, that itself is not yet settled. What is matter? And it is shown, they say, matter itself is an illusion. The only problem here is saying consciousness can be felt, cannot be seen directly. This is consciousness. Why? People want the scientific method, they want objectivity. This, okay, we'll say, now they understand matter is nothing but, all material things are nothing but a kind of an illusion. It is there, it is not there. There's uncertainty, there's a paradox, there's all these kind of things. But consciousness, we should be able to prove consciousness is fundamental, and here it is. Unfortunately, it cannot be done like that. Objectively, it cannot be done. It has to be, because it is the subject. That is why. So when you say fundamental, it's a subject. So can't you experience that the idea of immortality and that I will continue to exist? Yes, it is there. There is a slight reflection because of that consciousness. Consciousness is always self-consciousness. So it knows it is immortal, etc. So it is subjective. It is the subject. It is fundamental, and it cannot be pointed out. You have to become that. You have to be, you are that. Otherwise, it's not possible to show it. So this is the eye of knowledge. The eye of those with the eye of knowledge see. As I said, when it is leaving the body, utkramantam, from one body to stitam vapi, or even when residing in the body, or when it is experiencing the objects, through all these experiencing the objects, and when it is association with the gunas. What is the gunas? And so the nature, what is the guna? Sattva, rajas, tamas. Yeah, sattva will give happiness. Rajas will give you sorrow, misery. Yeah, he will give you everything, power and this and that. It will give you misery. Yeah, sorrow. And then delusion, tamas. So these three gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas, are constantly running about making a mess of things. So the person sees, now my mind is in the state of tamas. Now my mind is in the state of sattva. He will know that. But I am not there. If you can separate, how do you separate it here? Like, Sri Ramakrishna called Ramakrishna Paramahansa. The Paramahansa. What are Paramahansas? Those who can separate, like a swan, supreme swan. They can separate milk from water. The supreme swan, the swans, I don't know what is. They have an acidic uh, tongue or whatever, and it can separate the milk from the water. It milk curdles, and so they. That's the you can say folklore, or is it ancientness? So the Paramahansa, what is the Paramahansa? He who has, or she who has separated matter from consciousness. That is the Paramahansa. That is the meaning. So Sri Ramakrishna always is saying one must discern between the real and the unreal. Sad vichar. What is real? Brahman alone is real. And the universe is unreal. All my hopes, my dreams, everything. Yeah, everything. My senses, my mind, yes, everything. My world, yes, everything. Everything. Oh my God. So Vedanta took that extreme step, like yesterday I was saying. It had to take that. No compromises there. Everything, my life and everything. Yes, everything. You cannot get to this side if you hold on to that side. You cannot have, like Swami Ranganathan used to say, you cannot have your 2 feet in 2 boats. You will fall in the water. Sometimes matter is like consciousness, like, no, Vedanta, nice. Out. Separated. Call a spade a spade. Real will be real. Na sato vidyate bhava, na bhava. Real will be real under all conditions. The unreal will be unreal in every condition. And the two cannot mix. No, the twain can mix. Once this is settled in your conviction, Ramakrishna calls it Kutastha Buddhi. That is, Buddhi is a conviction, the knowledge. Kutastha is unshakable. Like, it's like an anvil. You can shape, reshape, and bang that anvil, the anvil remains unchanged. So your conviction, this conviction comes first before this eye of knowledge opens. Where's the eye of knowledge? Yeah. This you can see this this is not an eye of knowledge. Like in the previous verse, Shrotram Chakshus person. It's the eye of knowledge. It is symbolically shown between your 2 eyes. Symbolically. The third eye, you open the third eye, okay. That's the eye of knowledge. All the gods and all the depiction of all the gods, you see the 3 eyes. That is the main eye. But the eye of knowledge is awakened. So they are awakened. And when we worship, we don't notice that. It's okay. When Holy Mother was asked, does Sri Ramakrishna accept that food that you offered? Yes. So a ray of light comes out to that is the. So Sri Ramakrishna experiences things through knowledge. So there is a third eye here. It's not just symbol. It is, where is that somewhere? Oh, this is that Agnya Chakra. Here, when the mind rises here, there are two petals, right? When the mind rises here, Sri Ramakrishna says, you can see God. Here you see in your soul, but here you can see God. And how you can see God? You can see, but you cannot touch it. Not yet. There's still duality. You can go in. It's like it's the glass case. You want to touch, but it's the kind of a glass case. But you can see. Really? That's the eye of knowledge again. You can see. What do you mean, God? Hands and feet. By the time the hands and feet, by the time you've come here, the hands and feet of God have already disappeared. Yeah. It has come up to the formless. Almost. And then that also is when you and God and everything becomes one in the 1,000-petal lotus. So Jnana Chakshusha, should we do meditation? Of course. Of course. Because like Einstein says, no, you should not try to solve a problem through the agency of what has led you to the problem. Through the same system that has led you to the problem, you don't have to try to use that system to solve a problem. You have to use another system, another method. I think it was that it really paraphrasing it. So you have to use another system. You have to use another system to understand consciousness. Who is presiding over these senses and mind and who is it that who stays in the body, who rises and goes up out, and who is it that experiences all these things? Who is associated with the gunas? Who is that? So you have to use another system, and that other system is Vedanta. The other thing is common sense, rationality, all these things, science. And so material sciences can never understand that consciousness. And that's why the commentators say, Nanu Pashyanti, do not see this one. Alas, this one exists miserably. That is we. Yeah. Thus the Lord laments for the unenlightened person. So those who have the eye of knowledge, how does the eye of knowledge, like I said, how you can get to that? Raising your mind up there. Through the valid means of knowledge. Now, Madhusudan Saraswati, the valid means. What is the valid means of knowledge? I see these things here. This is valid means of knowledge here. The senses see this and see the whole world, as we have said. So what is the valid means of knowledge to get this eye of knowledge? The valid means of knowledge is the Vedanta Upanishads. There it is shown that this self, I am Atma Brahman, this self is the Brahman. That is the valid means. And then how to realize that validity? Hear it, Shravana. Think of it, think about it, Manana, and then meditate upon it, Nididhyasana. This is the valid means. Only those fellows can pashyati. Pashyati. It is spoken of in the sense of to see, to experience. It's to realize. That's what it means. The next verse is Yatanto yoginaschainam pasyantyatmanyavasthitam yatantopyakritatmano nainam pasyantyachetasaha. Yeah, the diligent yogis alone see this one as existing in their own intellects. The non discriminating ones, whose minds are not purified, do not see this one, though they are diligent. So, just diligence will not do. They have to have something more. You must have something more. What is that something? So, we had said yoga, the yogi. What is it practicing? Hatha yoga? No, no, sorry. Yoga will not do. What about pranayama? No, pranayama also will not do. What about all these various yogas? And that also will not do. That yoga is, as the Upanishad says, Indriya Manoyuktam, that is the senses and the mind, etc., when they are held firmly, that is yoga. Tam yogam iti manyate stiram indriya dharanam. When that is yoga, when the senses, etc., are held. Apramatta. You want to become, you can say, very apramatta. You should not be lax in your attention. So yoga is like many meanings to different shades, but it is union or concentration. So you can take anyone. So here we have the idea that yoga is joining. The one who practices the joining or concentration is a yogi, yogina, the yogis. Yatantu, that is, they say, yatnashila, one who is constantly trying. So we are trying. How much you have to try? Oh, you have to try. Keep on trying. When we are young, we used to say, try, and you will succeed. It's still there, around. I think, yeah, it's there. Try. So those are trying, or putting some effort, and they're over and over there. Yeah, practicing. They're putting the effort. They're trying and trying. So the diligent, it's called diligent. Yatanto yoginas cha enam. Enam is this one. This one what? Is that Atman, the soul. Pashanti sees Atmani eva, in the self itself. Now, what is the self? The commentator said in the buddhi. Now we know where to look for this enam, this one. Where do you look for it? In that intellect. In the buddhi. And when you can you see it? Yes, you can see it. So that it is in the Vashanyatma. So the yogis, as the Upanishad also says, those with Avrita Chakra, those the senses who have turned inwards, turn in, and they have gone inside, and they see this one. Where? In the intellect, in the buddhi. That is where they see this, this one. Really? Yeah. How do you see it? Like you see it like, yeah. It's like You're seeing the reflection of the sun in water or the moon in water. Ooh, you see it. Oh, here it is. Here it is hiding. But that's only the reflection. Then you see. So in Vedanta, there's something called a Shaka Chandra Nyaya. What is the Shaka Chandra Nyaya? The logic of the moon and the branch. So when the child is born, the first is taken out, and then what it is, I don't know if you all have done it. It is taken out, and it has to be shown the moon. So the child, what does it know? It does is looking around. See the moon. What? That's the uncle moon, Chanamama. Like Sri Ramakrishna say, your uncle is that moon uncle is everybody's uncle. Yeah. So if you want to see, where is looking at? See the uncle there. Because it's restless. So look at this tree there. Yeah. Okay. This is in the front. Look up, see that big branch there? Yeah. And look behind that branch is another smaller branch. Yes. Looking up. It doesn't say yes, it's looking up. See, behind that branch is that moon. Ah. Oh, behind that branch is that moon. Now it has understood. It has seen the moon now. This was just to lead the child's attention step by step, tree, the trunk that is, and then the branch, and the smaller branch, and yeah. After some time, the child sees, hey, the moon is not behind that branch. Huh. Because it can be seen from any side. You don't have to have a tree. Oh, I'm going to see the moon. But where the tree? It knows. So first you can see this Atman in the intellect. It's like, this is the body? Yes. Okay, this is the senses? Oh, yes. This is the mind? Yeah. See, in the mind there is something called the intellect. Yeah. See, in that intellect there's a reflection, that Atman. Oh, yes. Now I got it. He gets it. But after some time, if it is in the intellect, it is just a reflection, then it sees, oh, this is what it is. So the intellect is the first step. It's like that behind that branch is that moon. So it leads you up to the intellect. There you can see the reflection. Then you can see the real thing. Okay. And that is why they say, why the other yogis who are also diligent, who are also yatna, why they don't realize it? Because you need a teacher. You need a guru. Yeah, whatever you say. If you want to learn any science, you have to learn it from somebody. That is where things come. You may read 20 books or 100 books about Atman, but you will not realize it. And every day you're practicing what the books have been saying. No guru bina gyan. No knowledge without the guru. Yeah, the guru comes in. Here it is. So that is what it means. The non-discriminating ones whose minds are not purified do not see this one, though they be diligent, though they are striving. I don't see it. So that's very. So the word uses akritatmana, that is, whose mind have not been purified through sacrifices. Sacrifice? Yeah. Yajna, dana, tapa. To sacrifices, to charity, is dana, and tapas. This is what purifies the mind. So akritatmana. So I say, and two words are used, akritatmana. Krita is akritatmana. Krita is to work to. They have not worked on that. And achetasa. Chetas is to become aware. Acheta, those are not. You see people walking about. They're abstract, absent-minded. Absent-minded. When we are young, we used to hear an absent-minded professor. There's kind of absent-minded. Achetasa. Absent-minded. People go about to the world absent-minded. And they're doing everything, but they're absent-minded. How much? Their mind is not present, it is absent here. And you are talking about how can you live without the mind? Yes, you can live absent-mindedly. So Upanishads also say, I was not aware, I was absent-minded. So absent-mindedness is we are not present. We are absent. So you bring the mind to the present, you also have to purify it then. Oh, I'm present here. Yeah, you're present, but you have to purify. What? Yajna dana. And so in the Bhagavad Gita 18th chapter, he's saying you have to give up everything. Arjuna says, you have to give up everything? Yeah. But you should not give up sacrificing, charity, and tapas. Yajna dana tapa karma na tyajam. One should not give it up. Karyam evata. You should perform it. Why? Because yajno dana tapa karma. Yajna, that is sacrifices, charity, and tapasya. Pavanani manisha. It purifies people. That is why you should do it. You should not, I have to give up everything. I've given up that also. So we had our principal was there in training center in Belur-Mat, saying, yes, there are so many full of renunciation. Now he's taking all the brahmacharis. We are 120 and we are studying together. Now there are so many brahmacharis and now they have great renunciation. There are some who have greater renunciation. They have renounced even God. No, Maharaj. How is that possible? Yeah, they do not go to the temple in the morning. You have to go at around before 4 o'clock. You have to go. Imagine. So they have renounced even God. So he used to put it like that, big renunciation. So this is so people are full of renunciation. They have renounced God also. What is the use of this yajna, dana, and tapa? Why should we be unselfish? Why should we kind of be kind? Why should we work for others? Why should we? Anyway, the people are like they are fools and they are meant to be exploited. This is the sociopathic behavior. They're very nicely charming and all. They are kind of manipulating. So, sacrifice, yajna, dana, charity, It's not only your time, your energy, etc., to be given to others. Tapas is concentration. So this is okay. Yeah, we stop here for the questions. Otherwise, we'll go on and on and on. So the next class will be from the 12th verse. So,
Question. You kept saying about yajna. Yajna is a sacrifice. The sacrifice of what? Is it the sacrifice that they do in the temples? Is that the yajna that you're mentioning? Or is it different kind of yajna or sacrifice that has to be done?
yeah, the question, have they heard it? No. Yeah, we'll just for the online people say the question was this yajna. What is this yajna? Is it something like it's a fire sacrifice? Is the people do it in the temples? And should we do that? What is yajna? So the concept of a yajna is the best things that you have before you can enjoy it, you can eat it, or you have to offer it to the gods. So why do you have to offer it? Yes, because it was the gods' agency that helped you get all these things. So milk, a butter, a ghee, or rice, or barley, or this, or rice, whatever. First you have to offer it to God. And Agni, you're the god, but towards the end, towards the middle development, he became the carrier of whatever oblation is offered to the god that you're worshipping. After, when we come to the Bhagavad Gita, then the whole thing has changed. Before, before eating, now we will say Brahma, Arpanam, Brahma. What is that? It's a yajna. So it has become, we have internalized it. It is not only simple, we have internalized that whole idea of external yajna now internally. Whatever we eat is a oblation, fire. Fire is there. So this idea of a yajna to offer things was extremely important in the life of an individual and a community. Because it was understanding that this world, material world, is guided by the divine world. And yajna was a connection between this material world and this spiritual world. It is where we connected with the gods. Okay. That was the whole idea. Now it is yajna, we internalize whatever you do. So when suppose you are sacrificing your time for others, that is also a sacrifice. You don't need to pour ghee into the fire. Hey, I'm going to help others. Let me go. First, let me. No. So anything that you take what is good for you, your time, your energy, your brain, your skills, your this, your that, whatever you're offering to others, becomes a yajna. That pleases the gods. Where are the gods then? So there are these gods outside that you perform and you send. Vedanta says you internalize it. There are these gods here also in their body. And when you sacrifice, these gods are pleased there in your body. The hand is Indra. The feet is Vishnu. The mind is Chandrama, the moon. Intellect, Brahma. Yes, everything. These eyes, everything, these eyes we are talking about, I didn't want to bring it up. These eyes are presided over by whom? Yes, not just sun, it is the sun god. Yes, all gods are here. All these gods outside, they are also here. So when you're doing this yajna, internalize, these gods are all happy. The yajna, dana, charity, tapa, concentration. That purifies us. So when that person has been purified, then that person becomes chetas and kritatmana. Otherwise, it's akritatmana or chetas. Okay.
Raj, another way that I heard that, and I don't know if it's like really Vedantic or not, but it was like saying that very similar, but it was like 3D words. So yajna became daya, like compassion, and dhana is dhana, giving still, and tapas becomes dhyana, like meditation.
Yeah, you could draw parallels. You can draw parallels, but
Yeah.
then
But then it was like the 3Ds. But I think this your teaching is probably more authentic than
Yeah.
that one.
yeah, because to be charitable, what is only about money? No, it's not about money. You can't do anything. Your kindness also. To be kind, you be charitable. Yeah. So everything that makes you become unselfish. That is what it is. It's not anything that breaks the barriers of the ego becomes.
So, Swamiji, all material things, I do not mean just the objects, but even my shas prashas, like my breathing, everything. If a person were to take all of this as material and then offer it, then, like you said, Vedanta has this sharp line between those two.
Yeah.
Then it becomes all consciousness, right?
Yes, of course. So in the Bhagavad Gita itself, the yat karoshi, yadasnasi, yat juosi dadasi, yat tapasi, yat karoshi, whatever you do, yat karoshi, whatever you eat, yadasnasi, yat, whatever you sacrifice, whatever you do it for me. So you're seeing, you're tasting, touching, smelling, you're doing it for God. I'm doing it for God. I'm living for God. Yeah. I'm living because of God, but now my whole life has become for the divine. Yes, so everything that you do becomes, as it were, for the divine. Okay. We can stop here now. If there have been no questions online also, we can. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu